Oh, yep, maybe. It is Bree. Sorry, Colleen. Your thing was flashing.
Alrighty.
So yeah, confirmed you are hearing him.
Welcome back to another episode of The 12, our epic campaign of discovery and adventure across the continent of Khorvaire. This story will stream live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central here on Javelin Entertainment. And if you missed the last session, feel free to check it out on the channel page or by clicking the link down in the description.
Last week, our island-hopping corsairs caught up on what all had occurred with Clyde and Sindri. Clyde filled them in on some of the happenings around Port Verge, while the party discussed some intense philosophical topics of Tamargon inbreeding, Sindri's kidnapping, and the birthing methods of halflings and giants. As their musings drew back to their own situation, they determined that things had escalated beyond their depth, and that it was time for them to head elsewhere. Cade asked each of them where they would want to go. Roland said he had obligations at home, Clyde said his home was far away and he was in no rush to return, while Sindri was searching for the other giants without any clue where they were, and Jasira just wanted to avoid the plantation. Eventually they determined a path back to the continental Khorvaire seemed the best course of action, and went to wrap up the conversation with the Tamargon leader Ganon. Despite still having some reluctance, the unified voices of the Guardian, Captain Stormfae, and his own people left Ganon with no choice but to accept a role in the upcoming conflict. Part of this conviction apparently came with the shaving of their heads, as each Tamargon joined the conflict was soon bald. In the evening, Clyde asked Roland to view the armband he had taken from the Morrigan's treasure hold. Roland and Cade inspected it with various methods, finding the band wouldn't come off, but could hold some magical power if triggered or activated properly. The party worked out an agreement to leave via whale with the Triton princess the next afternoon, and bid goodbye again to the Stormfae and the new Tamargons, though the Tamargon who had made a bet with Boko owned up and accompanied them into the whale. As they were headed towards the continent, Cade suddenly got a strange message from a concerned Tiago. Who is this Lucius Morningstar? What will our party do upon reaching the continental portion of Lhazaar? How far was Clyde dropped by the stork when he was born? Let's tune in and find out.
There we go. All right. So as you all have been in this whale for about a day, making your way down from the tip or the kind of bay of Questor around the eastern edge towards Scairn, Cade had received a strange message. And Cade, this voice had come into your mind telepathically. And concerned and intensity. You could tell Tiago's voice immediately, but it was unusual. Listen here, little fish. There is little time. The elf is not your father. The one who was on board was a half-elf named Lucius Morningstar. As these words hit your mind, Cade, you're kind of seated in around everyone. You assume evening at this point as you're starting to get tired, but it's difficult to tell while in the mouth of the whale. What are you all doing?
I'm assuming this was ascending, right?
It feels that way.
Okay. Cade, it starts off a little loud of, "What the fuck, Tiago?" And then realizes that you respond out loud, and that probably is it was a lot louder than she intended. She'll kind of walk off to a corner to finish her message very quietly. So yeah, starts with "What the fuck, Tiago?" And then it continues quieter with, "Why would you lie to me? Can't she tell the truth once? And what kind of name is Lucius Morningstar?" Not really expecting a response, but is gonna get some quick anger and frustration sent back.
Yeah, as these words just begin to fly mentally through and quietly through, as you're processing the words that are sent, there is no response out, but a few of the companions around are kind of looking at you as this large outburst.
Cade, you all right there?
Fine. Just a little tiff, just got a message, not a big deal.
Well, you want to share with the group or no?
I think I'm okay for now. God, cheeky fucking bastard. I'm fine.
Me?
It's fine. Not talking about you.
Important clarifications.
All right. I just want to make sure, because I'm pretty sure after you taking away my buzz, we're even.
We're fine. All good. Yes, we're even. That's fine.
Cade, as you and Clyde are talking, there's a sudden kind of lurch in the whale as it moves around through the water, and you're kind of tipped off a little bit off as you kind of, not quite tumble, but kind of lose your balance slightly.
You sure you all right there, Cade? Ain't really like you to lose balance. Not on any sort of sea vessel.
And Clyde, you did feel the same kind of movement of the creature, and also kind of felt that your center of gravity is a lot lower, but you still felt the cause.
I'm gonna kind of send a mental check out to the whale of checking in. Are you okay?
And what are you using for this? Just the...
Hold on, I got too many things open. This should be one of my feats. Sea speaker. Aquatic beasts do not see your threat. You can also communicate basic concepts to them and understand basic concepts that they choose to try and express to you. So, I'm sending a basic concept of everything okay?
Sea's just picking up. Might be a bit of movement.
Okay, yeah, Cade just prepare for a bumpy ride, everyone.
And at that, another kind of shift kind of shakes and moves a few things.
Okay, good. We're not getting attacked by a giant squid. Again.
Don't put that out into the air.
though.
Maybe giant frog, though. He's getting a cage clean, so I'm on babysitting duty. Gosh.
Looks like it's really hopping over there.
He's vicious. He's going to get to be about this big.
Boo. Cade and Clyde, was there anything else, or was that the end of your conversation?
Nah, Cade's gonna kind of like retreat to a quiet corner and is gonna be fairly like withdrawn for the rest of the night.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything?
Clyde
this
is
evening?
going to look over the banister thoughtfully into this mouth of the whale. Just, I could be drunk right now.
And Roland, I believe you were also attempting to get drunk this evening.
I was, and I nat 20 the con saves. So.
What is Roland doing this evening?
Does that count as a miss?
Missing a goal?
Oh. How, like, where we are, it's basically just one room. We're all in one room.
Yes.
The mouth isn't compartmentalized.
No, it is not
I can't
compartmentalized.
Go hide in a tonsil. Okay.
No, there are barely even beds at this point. Like, there are things that you guys have fashioned into beds, but most of the time this is used by Tritons to travel, and so they have no problem sleeping on the tongue of a giant whale.
As the journey goes on, we taste worse and worse. This poor whale.
And last time it was kind of a nice, cool atmosphere. This time there is a warmth that is almost making things uncomfortable inside. And you kind of look over at the Dragonborn, who's kind of not Dragonborn, Tamargon, excuse me, who's been scanning across this, kind of taking all of this in, talking with the Tritons, and there's just this heat that emanates from her, bringing it a nice 85, 90 degrees inside of this moist mouth.
Oh, humid.
Oh wait, the Tamargon came with us?
Yeah, that was my bad.
Yep.
Does she look like she's having a good time?
She's having a great time. She's
I had to
fascinated.
bring the space heater. No, so Roland is, after unsuccessfully trying to get drunk, will just kind of alternate between sitting down and reading the book that Cade had let him borrow, and just at times you see him kind of drifting off from that, put the book down, lost in thought, and then occasionally get up and pace, and then go back down, pick up the book, and
then as you're kind of pacing back and forth, you go down to pick up the book, and there's sudden a lurch, and you have to kind of grab onto something to stabilize yourself and pick your book back up, and kind of get this slime from the tongue, and you kind of pull off, kind of clean it off before sitting back down, a little bit of a scrunch of your nose. What about Jasira? What are you doing?
I am trying to type that to you.
Okay. Then in the meantime, Boko, is there anything that you've been doing?
Oh shit, she's stealing the whale's soul.
Does Jasira look like she is in the mood to talk?
or to spar.
Ooh,
Yep.
wait, I don't know about that.
You may not find her.
Then if I can't find her, I'll wait until a later time. But I will just
under the tongue.
Yeah, like I was like, where is she hiding?
Self-cleaning.
Something like that.
Yeah, you look all over this room. This room is this room is really not that big. Like
No one. We just don't look at each other. We're all facing the walls of the mouth.
This fits maybe 20 people, and it's not like there's anywhere that somebody could go. But Jasira isn't in here. If you want, you can make me a perception
probably have
check.
about 5 people's worth of room just for the princess.
if Jasira is not here, I will not look for her. I will respect your privacy, and I will just set to doing the maintenance tinkering on my limbs and the third version of the soul canister.
All right. As you're kind of tinkering away again, as each of these shifts and lurches happens inside the mouth, there's kind of spilling of tools across, and you got to kind of pick them up, and you've learned to like lean them in different ways so that they're kind of nestled into corners and nooks and crannies so that they don't move.
The little vines in the arm, you just stick them there and they hold.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All right, and then Sindri, anything that you're doing?
Well, since this is a room filled with spit, I'm assuming.
Not filled, but there is a layer of it.
Ankle deep.
Bit bending.
And Sindri is going to be, of course, standing on top of it because I can walk on any liquid.
Sandra, you get taller.
I have always been taller than you. And Sindri's going to quickly walk away before he notices anything.
And Clyde's just like, is this because I'm sober? Was he?
Everything has changed.
But Sindri is mostly going to be wandering around this giant creature. Can we...
Wandering in the 20-foot area, he's just gonna go.
Is there like a block at the start of the throat, or like how does this work in here?
So
Don't deep throat the whale.
it is far from the throat. It is kind of
would be deep throating me, not the other way around. Get around.
It is focused on the kind of mid to front portion of the tongue, where there is kind of this platform that is kind of half affixed to what is there. And it's very bare bones, but what is there is fairly elegant and well put together.
And then there's a water slide in the back.
Other important question: the area near the salivary glands.
Salivary glands?
Salivary glands.
I knew I was saying it wrong the whole time. My brain was not getting it. The salivary glands. Is it like with my walk on water ability, does it kind of make water that is in like motion and sloshing like a waterbed kind of a situation? Or is it just my feet?
I think you're thinking too much about this.
Inside of this whale's mouth is going to be anti-magic field.
The important questions to know how to use my items.
I do not think that it is sloshing. I don't think you can make a waterbed out of a whale's salivary gland. With a ring of water walking.
Does the ring allow the whole portion of me to float, or is it just walking?
That's a good question. I would say since it's a ring, it's kind of a barrier that allows your whole person to...
So sloshing water is like a waterbed, because it's or a massage table is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
No. Sindri just has to make it slosh manually to make it a waterbed.
The whale is moving around.
Back, just like...
The whale is moving around.
So when you ascend, you go like this.
Yeah.
That's what Sindri's doing. My questioning is understanding what he's doing.
The whale is moving around a little bit as it seems to be responding to these seas. And Sindri, you...
So it is sloshing like a waterbed. Excellent.
It is moving. Yeah, sure. Oh, goodness. But as this is kind of shifting around, Sindri, you're kind of laying down on the ground here, and suddenly there is a pretty heavy movement off to the side, and you just go skirting across, just sliding across the whole floor like a slip and slide. And let's see. Where do we
Oh
get?
no, who's he gonna take out?
I have all my tools in my arm. I get thrown, and it's just a fucking yard sale.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything
No,
is
Boko, give me a dexterity save.
I had to open my mouth.
it was actually landed on you. Funny enough. Yeah, Sindri just goes sliding in, and Boko, you've got everything kind of very, very carefully placed, and then this kind of big whoosh happens, and you're kind of knocked off balance a little bit, and Sindri just slams into your legs and takes you out, and things begin to just spiral out.
Dang, these bowling animations are getting crazy.
Woo!
I imagine that the whatever light that Roland was reading by gets like knocked over, so he's just gonna look at it, go,
Oh no! It's
pull up a hand, and a globule of light appears in it, and then he just places it in the air, and it stays, and he goes back to reading.
Reach up and go.
As I launch Superman,
Full chain.
as Sindri Superman's slip and slides past Roland and knocks over his light, he's gonna yell as he passes, "Thanks for the ring!"
Yeah. Now he's gonna roll in all our tools.
I'm going to regret that.
Some of those are sharp.
And Jasira, go ahead and give me a dexterity save as well.
This is my new favorite uncommon item.
Dexterity.
We're doomed upon us.
It's not even a
Mechanically.
demon. This is so great.
That's
With the
not a great
shifting of the
roll.
water and Sindri staying on top, am I now trapped underneath Sindri under the water? Am I
No, it's not a layer of water. It's like
It's
it's
3
just
inches
a
of
thin
mucus.
layer of mucus and saliva. And he just
It's
takes
a
out your legs, and you
fucking
just go
cloud.
like tumbling up into the air. Clyde, you feel kind of a clatter. Some things are knocked down nearby. You see Cade is over kind of off to the side, kind of huddled. It's getting more and more evident that the whale is moving around considerably, much more than anything on the journey previously.
Clyde hasn't been on the other one. Is this normal? You said it was a real smooth ride. This isn't. This is slippery, kind of
He
gross.
said the seas were choppier than normal.
And I have a question, as not as Clyde, but as Corum. Would Corum be aware that there is a storm going on?
Give me an intelligence check at advantage.
Okay. Because if he's there, let's see. Something he's very, very good at. Hey!
Hey, yeah, not apparently very good at. Corum, you know that this does seem to be kind of, for lack of a better term, turbulence related to thick storms and heavy waters. And typically the whale would be kind of diving down to get towards more calm waters deeper within the ocean. But due to pressure and other issues with the transportation, they kind of got to keep a higher elevation. And you know that the amount of movement that you guys are getting, it must be a heavy storm.
Okay, Corum is going to pull out the symbol of the royal family and declare that no storm shall bar the royal princess's path. And from the emblem, he's using his channel divinity to dispel the entire storm.
Interesting. Keep pace. Okay.
Yeah.
Calm storm.
I've never seen this one before.
This is a new one.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you hold up the your holy emblem, and what is it? Is it like
it's whatever? It's
just
the
an
symbol
amulet
of the royal family.
Yeah, but is it on an amulet? Is it on a shield or a weapon?
It probably is an amulet.
So
that
just
he
kind of
holds.
holding this up and speaking these words out, there is kind of this pulse of energy that begins to move out, and then suddenly this like surge of green just kind of courses through and shatters it, and it doesn't seem to take effect. And all of you kind of notice this magical effect that seems to break as it hits the edge of the whale's mouth.
When it does, Corum said, "Everyone be prepared. The storm is not natural."
And right at that moment, there's a lurch to the side as you all kind of tip over, kind of skipping, kind of trying to grab your balance.
Put the book away.
And
You know,
Corum will prepare
it's
some
not simple.
with Clyde.
Is there anything else
Well,
that
it's
Corum's
not
doing?
simple. Riding in. No, he's just going to prepare for anything that might attack the princess or put her in any danger.
Okay.
That was pretty awesome.
As soon as he said storm and choppy weather, I was like, ooh, 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 there's a thing.
No, that was a really good idea. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, as this another lurch happens, there's another tumble of things, and Boko, you're kind of laying on the ground, and suddenly, just apparating next to you is Jasira, also laying on the ground.
Boko just looks over at her. He doesn't even pick himself up.
Unspoken.
Jasira just nods.
Sindri's still laying on me.
No, Sindri has slid just completely past you.
He has gone to wreck somebody else.
5 feet away.
You just think
It's just a pinball.
it's just
Also-
pinball in the whale's mouth.
with your elevated stature, since you are on top of the layer of slime, you have this trajectory that is so deadly. Like if anybody's sitting down, your trajectory is over their center of gravity.
Goodbye, anyone's Achilles.
Yep, your ankles are done.
But yeah, as you all are in this, just lurching after lurching, as this movement continues to happen, boxes and crates are kind of sliding. The princess and her guards are kind of looking a bit more concerned as they're kind of trying to strap things down and tie things together. You all can tell, and as well as with Corum's words, that this is a bit more than something that is natural.
So the storm wasn't banished.
The storm was
No,
not
it-
banished.
Storm.
Yeah, it is magical in nature.
I'm gonna put my stuff
We
away.
we should make it to land as quickly as possible, where it's safe.
You guys
'Cause
are.
I'm tired of fighting tentacle monsters from the ocean.
You guys know that you're about a day and a half away
I'll
from
say an hour. Let's fucking go.
your location.
Sindri will run. Let's go.
He's gonna run on top of the water.
Kate's gonna kind of stroll up. I mean, what's the likelihood that anyone's actually coming after us, right? Kind of looks at the princess and her bodyguards, like, are we like, what are the odds that someone's coming after us?
I don't know who would know where we are. It seems like a storm, but it's worse than many that I've seen before. And she's kind of looking around and looking to kind of Corum for some guidance, who seems to be just as baffled as she is. And all of you are kind of every so often just having to grab on as another lurch of the movement from the whale, and they're happening more and more frequently now.
Well,
Jasira. Perhaps we should get ready to battle, whatever this is.
If anyone's gonna boff, dude in the back corner, please.
Back corner's gonna become any corner with all this sloshing.
do we need to prepare for an emergency egress?
I don't think that would be necessary. And the princess is kind of looking over at Corum and Nereus for confirmation, and they both don't look any more confident than she does.
Yeah, Corm's like, that usually works.
Ruh-roh.
Well,
Just has a
Reggie.
feeling looking suspiciously at everything.
Let's hope not. Worst comes to worst, I can get us all on the surface and we can walk our way to shore. Not my preferred method, but I've learned a thing or two. let's just hope our whale companion can keep us going.
And Cade, with your feature, are they able to talk to you, or is it just you're able to express things? Like, do you have to initiate?
Let me reread that.
How are you?
Hey, Cade.
I'm gonna say DM discretion because you're the one that wrote it. So what was the intention?
You hear the whale go.
What's the?
Oh, fuck!
What's the wording on it?
Let's see. So it's called Sea Speaker. Here, I'll post it.
Yeah.
I guess it seems like the general intent was that communication was supposed to be feasible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Understand basic concepts that they try and okay, so it's less of like understanding what they are saying and more the concepts behind them.
So like if someone is like, they could probably like convey like fear or pain or
yeah, you get these vibes of intensity and concern that are being migrated. There's also make an insight check or an animal handling.
Okay.
We'll give you slightly different.
Cade tends to be on more of the insightful part than the animal handling part.
So there's this also strange feeling that you're getting from your connection to this individual. It's something almost akin to what you would sense in a person that is feeling some type of paranoia.
Oh. Like an instinctual kind?
It's unclear. It's hard to relate an animal's feelings and vibes to humans, but that's kind of what you're trying to do when you're looking at this insight around them.
Okay. Yeah, Kate's not liking the vibe. She's actually gonna ritually cast Speak with Animals so that she can get a little more info.
All right. So, and that is the casting time on that just 1 minute plus the 10 from ritual?
It's one action is Speak with Animals. So it'd be 10 minutes. Kate's gonna like sit down and be like, guys, the whale's not feeling great about what's going on. Something's got him wary. I'm gonna try and get more info. This might be a little loud. Plug your ears.
And as Kate is trying to focus and she's kind of shifting around and trying to hold onto herself, you're not all moving almost constantly. It's sometimes in jerks, sometimes just in gentle movements, but there is constant motion. And at this time, is anyone seasick or anyone have not much experience on the sea?
I mean, Clyde, you want to throw up check? He'll make a throw up check.
Not so much. Yeah, it'll be a con save.
His stomach's upset.
Are saying con save for
yeah,
that?
so go ahead and roll some con saves as you're trying to deal with just the nausea around this.
Clyde is used to holding down his vomit, though.
Yeah, and in this moment, all of you guys are kind of holding it together. Your vision is staying pretty clear. You're feeling a bit of a headache come on, and a bit uneasy on your feet, but so far you're holding steady. For those like Cade and Roland who are used to ships, it's still a bit natural. Again, that feeling of being in a storm where the waves are moving the fish just like it would a ship.
That seems about right.
Learned and now has woven himself a small little spider web out of vines and has just plastered himself to the corner.
Meanwhile, Sindri is still pinballing around and just
I rolled a nat one, but I only rolled a 15.
There's just a trail behind him.
If I see Sindri coming in my direction, I'm just going to urchin my way up the wall a little bit.
up the mouth.
Yeah.
There's like a small
Whatever
little
it
banister around
Gross.
this like platform, but otherwise you would have to go to like the edge of the mouth itself, where they've got these bristly teeth that come up, or the actual gums.
If I cling onto the uvula, is this thing gonna vomit all over us?
It very well might. Just imagine if an ant.
Oh, please no.
Just imagine if an ant was clamped to your uvula and what you might be doing. So.
Also, I do not put it past our DM to have created a mechanic for whale vomit.
Head out like a human comet. All right.
Vomit comet.
But yeah, as you guys are all shifting and moving around, you guys are trying your best to stay stable as Sindri is just flying through. But Cade, you are able to cast this spell and reach out with this magic to connect to the whale, who is just constantly sending these pulses of concern and worry and trying to navigate the seas around them.
Yeah, so Cade kind of makes the connection and then kind of reaches out. Hey, what's going on out there? I can feel your worry.
Seas are dark and stormy. Storm is bad. Worse than I've known. Things, debris, dangerous out here. Feels like shadows watching.
Shadows in the sea. Can you go any deeper?
Not with you all inside.
How deep are we? Because storms are really a surface thing, right?
Typically.
Natural storms.
Yeah.
Typically.
This is most definitely not a normal storm.
Cade's gonna throw out to the group. He says that this is a storm not like any that he's seen, that there's shadows in the water and debris. Do you see anything else?
Let's find out.
Ooh, whale perception.
The seas are dark. Can't see much of anything till it gets close. The current, it feels shifted.
It's going against its norm.
It feels like it's coming from below.
Oh. And Cade says that part out loud, everyone.
Oh, what? I don't like. Oh.
He says that the current is shifted. It's coming from below. And I don't like things that come from below in the deep sea, because that doesn't usually mean anything good.
I have an idea. It's not a
Does anything good come from the sea? Or was I not there for that?
There are plenty of good things in the sea, Sindri.
And as
This nice whale.
Yes, like water.
Cade, as you are all shifting around, the whale is concentrating so hard now that there are gaps in its mouth that are starting to open up, and every so often a little bit of seawater will rush in. It's not knocking you off your feet, but it's building up, where instead of a couple of inches, it's now maybe 5 or 6 inches.
Okay.
Hey,
Cade's
Roland,
gonna
you got that rope?
Cade's gonna start like shifting water like back out through the teeth, and like whenever there's a gap, she's gonna try and like keep it out.
Is
Okay.
Cade sharing this with everybody?
I mean, Cade is like, you kind of hear like, Paula, she's sitting on the ground, she's pausing, kind of having a mental connection with the whale, and then she kind of relays out loud what's going on. Not feeling great about this storm, everyone. Our whale friend is very concerned, and he's having a hard time.
Cade, give me a
maintaining his
wisdom
momentum.
saving throw.
Me?
Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh no.
The subconscious is attacking us. I knew it.
All right.
Or this thing is going to scream and she's going to understand it.
Oh.
Cade, there is this bright, blinding white-green light that shoots through your vision, and you feel this psychic force in your brain that feels like it's ripping it in half. You take 8 points of psychic damage, and you are just torn down to your knees, barely hanging on to consciousness as you're just heavily breathing. And there are these flashes of images with this light, but nothing that you can tangibly hold on to. But it feels like part of yourself is suddenly ripping away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Cade suddenly, like, grabs her head in agony. Ah,
What's going on?
I don't... God! Ah! Oh, there's something attacked me mentally. Ah!
Did we ever get hit by... This is me metagaming and seeing if I can pull it out of my character's ass. Did we ever get hit by any illithid psychic shit?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
We got hit by a mind blast.
No, you didn't.
I thought we got hit by it at the very beginning. He cast something down the...
I think you're thinking of Baldur's Gate.
No.
Actually,
no.
maybe that is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we got hit by something because there was a illithid that cast something down the ramp at us. that
No, you
I
are right.
narrowly avoided.
Yeah.
I think that actually might be true. We'll say that you have some... If it connects up, we'll say because I can't remember the specifics, but I do remember what Austin is talking about, where we'll say that you have some connection with illithids manipulating mental energy in that attack. Some sort of psionics.
So this feels... And it's only Cade.
Yeah, Cade had no indication or interaction with the illithids at all. But yeah, Cade seems to be the only one afflicted with this in the moment. But all of you are still feeling that, are kind of shifting around, are trying to hold your space. And it first looks like she's just knocked off her feet until the scream that she just gives out kind of cuts through and shows that it's something different and brings attention all from those around.
Gosh, Roland, get it. We got to tie her down. Gotta make sure she doesn't lose it and get lost in this.
Fine.
She'll be fine.
Fine, don't just start screaming for no reason.
Yeah, well, there's something out there.
I think there was a reason, and I think it might be... The last time that we got hit by something that was purely mental... We were naked on a beach.
I mean, yeah? What, you think there's something, they're under, what? Think there's another ship under us or something? With another... Alright.
Why would they bother coming out to sea?
Another
No,
kind of
something's...
seeping water kind of continuing to rise.
Yeah, Cade, again, like, through the splitting headache, kind of, like, stands, like, roughly back up to, like, a kneeling position and tries to send more water back out.
And right at that moment, there's a heavy lurch as it knocks everything over to the side. Everybody make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okie dokie.
All right, and with a 12 or higher, you're able to keep your feet underneath you at this point. So Roland and
I'm not standing.
yes, Sindri is still.
Nick got you. It was your turn.
Yeah, Roland
Not
kind
even
of
standing.
slides over as he's kind of clipped by Sindri flying by. The rest of you are able to hold roughly in place as this heavy lurch kind of tips up, and you can all feel that it's almost a 90 degrees for a moment as you're suspended before kind of coming back down, and all of your stomachs kind of lurch and tumble.
Ooh. Do it again.
I think we're at the mercy of this thing.
All right, Clyde would like to take this moment to tie. Is there something Clyde can tie himself to?
There's like a banister around this platform that you could probably tie yourself to.
Yeah. Clyde would like to do that. I think we did survival as knots, and yeah. How good is knot? Clyde's got a good knot.
Good knot.
Good
He's not gonna be
now.
able to take this knot apart.
Yeah, goes to try and untie. He's like, oh no, I'm stuck. Is anybody else doing anything at this time as Cade is trying to kind of get back and kind of continues to try and force the water? But this one, at this kind of lurch, there was kind of a heavy opening that rushed more water in. You guys are now all, except for Sindri, standing about boot deep in water. And the princess and her guards are kind of looking around, concerned, kind of looking for anything. Greta is kind of standing over, kind of huddled to one side as she's never really interacted with anything like this. All of them kind of looking on for any sort of guidance.
This is salt water, right?
It is indeed saltwater.
Man, it's gonna salinate my machinery, isn't it?
Ooh.
It's probably not going to be the best.
How much water are we standing in at this point?
Almost a foot.
Okay. Is there any way that I'd be able to help by utilizing it to like pump out the water?
You could certainly try. Are you able to?
Crap. All right, I'll just dig my canisters off and directly just put it in the water to try and get the water out of the way.
Can't you cast Destroy Water?
I can cast destroy water, yes.
It's gonna destroy the ocean.
Completely gone.
Walk on water would be a
I
good
don't know if I
spell.
have that one.
I'm conserving resources. If more comes in, I'll start destroying it. But for now, I'm
Yeah.
just going to try and shape it out.
I think I might do the same thing. Let me try and utilize the firing mechanism to just kind of put down in the water and like shoot it back away. Kind of
Yeah.
like what she's doing with moving the water.
Give me a Tinker's check. Tinker's tools check.
All right. I can't roll right now,
Oh,
so if you
okay,
wouldn't
yeah.
mind doing that.
I got you.
Thanks.
I'd like to do a quick check as well of who does not have swimming or underwater breathing capabilities.
But I will drown.
Jasira, Clyde, Roland, Greta. Is that it?
Sindri can not swim.
Sindri's gonna be fine.
Sindri's
You might get
good.
sick, but you're gonna make it.
Sindri's not going to drown.
He cannot swim nor breathe underwater. Drowning was not the question.
And within
I can get everyone to the surface if it's called for.
within 18, Clyde, you also, or Thishalt, you kind of move your mechanisms and kind of power them to pulse water back outwards. And luckily, kind of timing it with another opening, kind of slide it between where you get more water out than came in on the last one. It seems kind of dependent on what is happening around the whale in this moment, on whether there's a heavy amount of water or a little bit of amount of water. And you and Cade are currently trying to do what you can to minimize the amount that's coming in. But you can tell that there's more here than just the water that you have to worry about.
Well, see, Cade, look, we have similar vocations and it's helping out a lot right now.
You know what? I'm feeling more and more concerned by this by the moment. You keep pumping. Cade probably sits down and starts
Yes, ma'am.
chanting a different spell and is kind of making symbols in the water, and she's gonna ritually cast water breathing on anyone that cannot already breathe water.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Please and thank you.
Thank you.
So we got what? Sindri, Clyde, Jasira, Greta, Boko, Roland. I think that's it. So 6.
Yeah, and it's up to 10 willing creatures.
All right, cool. Yeah, you're covered as Cade over what seems like a very long 60 seconds, as everything is sliding and shifting, and everyone begins to kind of try and find some way to stabilize themselves, while the Schalt is kind of still trying to fight against this water. She pulses out this spell, invigorating you all as you feel these kind of bubbles grow in your throat, and you kind of breathe out this kind of bluish green sea foam kind of smoke, before you kind of get used to this new tendency. And some of you kind of reach down and feel your neck, and you can feel that there are these lined gills along your neck.
Okay, now, everyone, worst comes to worst, you're not going to drown if we end up with a bunch of seawater in the mouth.
Yeah, so does everybody want to tie themselves down so nobody gets sucked out the whale mouth?
The water is safe, they say. We should travel by water. We shouldn't go to the Underdark. That's too dangerous. Let's go to the sea.
I think I left the rest of my rope on the ship.
He says that he's rocketing around the mouth.
He's just talking to himself, just,
No, he's talking to everyone as he's going around.
It's just every so often. And with that, another heavy jolt kind of knocks in, and I need another round of dexterity checks, as this one kind of knocks you up, and you can all feel as you're rising up through the waves and water. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Nicholas, stop rolling the same number as me.
Together. They're just a ball of body just going around tumbling.
All right.
You guys slip and slide. And he's rolling appropriately for it. Oh, your guys' problem is.
Oh man.
I'd like to take up position next to Greta, just in case this gets ugly.
Okay. Oh, I should probably roll for them too. Oh, okay. Not too bad. Okay.
And as Sindri is going around. Oh, sorry. No, this is a ability check, not a save. Never mind. Doesn't work.
Okay. Okay. So immediately as this lurch happens, all of you kind of feel this rise as you're lifted up through the waters. And this time everyone under 14 kind of loses their footing. So Jasira and Cade immediately kind of fall down to the ground and slip and slide to the side. Roland, you're kind of knocked forward and tumble over, unable to kind of catch yourself, and slamming up against the front, where a blast of water kind of smashes you into the face as you get waterlogged. But worse yet, as the water comes in, it also surges back out, and Sindri kind of slipping and sliding around, just whoop, right in between the gaps in the tree and the teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
This is what I just said.
Clyde did so well because he's used to flying through the air.
Yeah,
Clyde is strapped in.
Clyde was like, "This is gonna be some bullshit. I'm not going." How far away are they? Or are they within 10 feet of Clyde?
Sindri?
Well, I guess Roland now, because Sindri got sucked out.
Yeah, Roland is probably just at about 10 feet. It's maybe about. Yeah, we'll say so for this.
I want to use the whip and grapple him to try and.
There you go.
So just like around his ankle as he's going out, Clyde's just. Let's see if he can.
Oh man.
No.
Oh my god.
So
it goes a little too high.
You just go whip, and it's like right at 10 feet, and so it just like tickles his toes a little bit before it comes out. It's not quite long enough.
It cracks right at his toes.
Roland doesn't seem to be sliding out. He's just kind of been blasted by the seawater and kind of drenched and kind of trying to stand up as he's coughing through. But only it was so fast that like some of you like didn't even realize what had happened, and it starts to dawn as the bouncing pinball that has been there is no longer inside the mouth.
I'll say, Clyde knew this was going to happen. Okay,
everybody goes, oh, it's quiet in here.
It's peaceful.
Cade immediately sends like a kind of like a mental help to the whale, hoping that the whale notices that something just came out of its mouth.
What do I do?
I don't know. I'm gonna convey the eat kind of.
If I open my mouth, you all will get washed out too.
Oh.
Fucking
I mean,
bitch,
we have to.
down.
Clyde won't.
I can see him, but he's disappearing. Oh,
Up or down?
Up. He said up.
Bitch.
Sindri's not going to the bottom of the ocean.
I don't. Cade's gonna. Fuck.
As
You
they're
all feel
saying,
this tilt as the whale is kind of trying to trail after Sindri, as Cade is processing this indecision. You guys are all like leaning backwards.
Okay, everyone, tie ourselves down or hold on fucking tight. We need to swallow Sindri again.
Yep. Rope is coming out. Tying myself off.
Yeah, Corum will.
Say,
Definitely tie
Clyde,
him.
can I use some of that rope?
Here. I got
Yeah.
that piece. Just tie
If
yourself
someone
off
has
to me.
extra,
Perfect.
I left mine on the ship and I did not get it back.
Cade kind of like.
Who doesn't have rope on them?
What was that, Kid?
Oh, Cade used to tying knots on the fly, like literally whips out the rope, loops it around Jasira like twice, ties it around herself twice, and then does a quick knot against something that's like roughly in place, and is like, we're good.
Yeah, give me a survival check at advantage. Anybody else who's trying to tie themselves down, go and give me survival checks. Roland, you'll have advantage as well if you're doing it.
Alright. And I assist. Does Greta look like she can tie a knot pretty well?
She looks more concerned at everything else and isn't really processing. Nice.
Corum's really good at knot tying. Really good. Nope, not really. Corum's not good at a lot of things, guys.
I don't have any rope, so I'm just gonna wrap the vines around the banister here and reach my hand out for Greta.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so Cade seeing that everyone's roughly tied in, we're gonna go for swallow, sending the message back to the whale.
And DM, that second Clyde was Corum's for him and the princess.
Yep, thank you.
Oh shit.
I rolled for Nereus as well, who was a little bit higher,
okay.
so small thing. But yeah, as you guys are all tipping back and you can kind of feel this lurching backwards, and you see as the whale is preparing and begins to open up, and this water just becomes flooding inwards as you all begin to get drenched. And there is a sucking, and Sindri, what are you doing in this moment?
Free.
He's getting fucking raptured.
Are you letting the it take you upwards? Are you freaking out in the water? What is going on?
Can he control it so he goes up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down?
So, can I see anything in the water?
It is
Like, can I see the
incredibly
whale
dark.
chasing after me?
It is
Or is it
incredibly
just
dark.
like-
It's hard to see much of anything. If you want to make me a perception check, you can, but it's very, very difficult to see.
All right, I'm because if I see the way, oh well, nope. Sindri is just
3 nat ones.
We do. The party just got him back.
Sindri is very unhappy being stuck in the ocean. He is just like, well, I guess we're just start shooting up as fast as possible, willing the ring to take him faster. It has to be safer on the surface.
Oh.
So as you're kind of moving upwards, you suddenly feel this sucking feeling as you're being pulled backwards.
I knew it. I mean, keep going, go.
And you begin to swim with all your might, but the whale is much stronger than you are, and begins to pull you
Sindri does not
inside.
know how to swim.
As this water cascades in to the whale's mouth, there is suddenly an emanation, like a pulse of force that erupts from inside the whale. And I need Boko to give me a strength saving throw.
Yes.
And Jasira, I need you to give me a perception check.
Oh, Lord.
We're rolling so badly.
This is spicy. Okay.
I have no business passing a strength saving throw though, so like that's deserved.
Oh, that's not great. This is not good.
All right, so immediately as this water begins to rush in, Sindri, you find yourself pulled in. Boko, you find yourself, there is this emanation of force, and suddenly, Sindri, you find yourself propelled outwards. You feel, Boko, you feel Greta's grasp being pulled out away from you very shortly before you're also kind of pulled free of the banister. And Jasira.
Now hold on a second. Is Boko within, like, how close is he to me?
Well,
how close is he to Clyde? Clyde's gonna whip him. Real good.
As you're also kind of finding your banister breaking and your tying being ripped apart, you're very close to Boko as you're also being flown out at this point.
Oh, that's not good.
And Jasira, you see these two fly by, but you feel this just blast just hit into you, and I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Jasira.
Ooh, lordy. Is she gonna throw up? She should throw up.
Jasira, there is blackness as you immediately go unconscious from this force emanation. And as all of these things start to break apart and shift, people are being pulled left and right as the water just kind of rips through, with this force kind of emanating out into the water. And you all, oops, I forgot to, well, I guess we can shift to it now. You all begin to find yourself in this thick and heavy storm, just blasting left and right, as there is crackling lightning as some of you kind of burst up from the surface. Some are kind of pulled down into the darkness. And I need for each one of you to go ahead and roll me 1d4. Sorry, 1d3.
Is that including me?
Okay.
Yes, everybody.
Okay.
And Clyde, if you want to roll for quorum as well.
Of course it's a 1.
Bro.
Of course it's a 1.
Well, wherever you're going, it's not alone.
Okay, good.
We'll have friends.
Wherever
I
I'm going,
finally-
it's alone.
You're going deep.
One other person's joining me.
Oh, wait.
I planned for this.
Should I do
might
one
do
for
this.
Quorum?
Yes, please.
Or are you gonna... Okay. This next one will be for him then. Yeah, okay. Oh. Hey! There you go. Boko's getting Quorum.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, Quorum's a fucking Triton.
Yeah.
Boko's not doing shit.
Orum's getting Boko.
We're supposed to be the rescue party here.
Go and rescue us.
Movement speed, the extra additions are... You have, like, diminishing returns, right? What's the rule on that?
It's half each time, I think. If I
Okay.
remember correctly.
The first one is full, the second one is half.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I guess Cade's got a spell prepped, but I'm gonna wait until you say what's going on as we're ripped out of Whale's mouth.
All right. So all of you are kind of lurched into this darkness of the water. You all feel this kind of emanation around you, except for Jasira, who is unmoving through the water at the moment. But Cade, you look around and there is darkness around you as you find yourself submerged in the water.
Cade is just, as soon as we're being sucked out of the mouth, she's just gonna do a pulse. And it's just gonna think of her friends and, oh shit, I can't see. Never mind. It's not gonna work if I can't see anything. It would only work if Cade was allowed to cast it as she was being sucked out, but if I have to wait in time outside the mouth, then it won't work.
Give me We'll do this on a reaction. Give me an initiative roll or a dexterity check. And if it's above we'll say this is going to be tricky. We'll say above a 14, then you can get off the water walk beforehand.
Okay. Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Oh no.
Hey!
Including the whale?
I'm not gonna try and make the whale water walk.
Damn.
They have to be willing. The whale just needs to not be willing.
The whale would also be beyond the 10. I think there's exactly 10 people within. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't roll for the Schalt. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah, where'd he go?
I was like, I feel like I'm missing. Ah, okay.
Hey.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry, I just happened to get it.
So if the DM will allow it, based on that initiative roll, like as soon as things start going tits up, Cade's just gonna be like, well, I guess we're bouncing, and is gonna like throw out a water walk, and hopefully everyone will get sucked to the surface.
Yeah, you throw this out, and immediately all of you kind of feel this buoyancy as you're kind of rushed through, but these waves are still kind of crashing down. There's heavy rain, it's all dark. Even when you kind of pop through the surface, it's kind of like a bobber kind of going in and out, smashed underneath these waves and pulling up. I need for everybody except for Jasira to go ahead and roll me con saves now.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Not too bad.
That iron gut that kept me from getting drunk is
I'm gonna
still
use my
on.
inspiration.
Okay, go for it.
Why am I rolling so badly?
Oh.
Cade has been throwing around a lot of spells under very trying circumstances, and it's just done.
And it just gets to you, and you feel the kind of darkness. You're not sure if your eyes are actually closed or not, but the darkness just kind of surrounds you. Sindri, you kind of also find this darkness kind of just surrounding you as you kind of lose focus. The last few of you kind of find yourselves trying to hit the surface and trying to breathe the air. Even though you can breathe the water, it's still kind of natural as you kind of burst forth. It's difficult to see anyone else around. Clyde, you can kind of see Roland nearby as you're kind of bobbing through the surface of the water. Jasira, you're kind of you're unconscious as well. Boko, you see as Corum is kind of popping through the surface on the other side, trying to swim against it, but the waves are just smashing into him and you.
So even Corum looks like he's having trouble.
Yes, absolutely.
So quick head count up here. Is there anybody that cannot see immediately?
You only see well, go ahead and give me a perception check. Go ahead and give me a perception check. You see, looking around you, you can see Corum, and you can see the kind of orange hair of Greta kind of floating nearby. And then you also see not too far away from Corum is a Renemy kind of swimming against the tide as well, but also struggling.
She's even they're struggling. I got to get over to Greta immediately. I'm going to cast Alter Self.
Okay.
And turn myself into my amphibious form. And give myself a chance at the swimming speed here. And also using the water walk, I'm gonna like fucking high-speed army crawl my ass over there.
I love it. Yeah, doing the best you can. You kind of dive through, and it's rough as these waves slam into you. The water comes in. You have to kind of see by the flashes of lightning that kind of illuminate, trying to grab the silhouette. But eventually, with that good perception, you're able to kind of track and keep course, and you're able to kind of get towards Greta and hold on to her. She seems to be barely conscious. She's not dead. She's able to still breathe in the water, thankfully due to Cade's spells. But she is not able to respond to much.
No. I'm gonna grab my bone necklace, and I'm gonna use an action to give myself 120 feet of dark vision and increase my perception. And does Corum look like he's faring any better at this point?
Can we make a roll as Corum?
Go ahead and give me an athletics check, Corum.
Hey, something he's good at. It shouldn't have been an advantage.
They're passable. They're staying on top. They're kind of swimming with it, but it's not easy. And it's certainly not fun. They're fighting in it as much as you are.
Then you're just like, knowing that this is last ditch effort, I'm gonna look at Greta and I'm gonna pull the knife out and I'm gonna slice that leg open and I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna pull something out and I'm gonna hand it to her and I'm gonna tell her to eat it.
She is not really conscious, but if you want to feed it to her, you can.
I'm gonna have to feed it to her.
Okay.
I'm going to have to.
Doing the best you can to kind of feed it in.
And this thing is alive, so it crawls. And so I'm gonna stick it in there and it's gonna go. And she's immediately going to begin to transform, mirroring my form. She's going to turn into an amphibious form, and she's going to get 10 HP.
Unfortunately, Corum thinks Boko's some sort of mad savant. So.
Honestly, I don't know if Corum notices much of this right now, as he's focused all on the princess. I would imagine at this time. And with the perception, you can see Boko over there with Greta, but I don't know if you can see this much of a detail.
That he's doing something.
Hopefully that will keep her like just alive long enough. I want to try to go under and see if we can see anybody underneath that who's not faring enough to get above ground or above water.
Diving down into the water, give me another perception check.
Let me see here. This one I also get the effects of detect magic from this amulet.
Good to know.
And my passive goes up by 5.
Okay, so a couple things. You feel this evocation and transmutation surging all around. From the water to the rain to the lightning, like it is pulsing through the air. It's not an active spell that you feel, but like a tangible, almost swimming through the magic like you are through the waves. Like it is thick. And as you kind of dive down, what you first see is you don't see any individuals. It's far too dark for that. But with the lightning, you can see large shapes and you see the outline of the whale, and it is going down. And you can say that it is not going down head first. It is going down tail first.
Oh.
So whatever is pulling it under, it is fighting against it and losing.
Oh no. How far away is it?
It's 80 to 100 feet, probably.
I'm gonna try to get to him.
All right, give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Can I cancel that disadvantage with my swim speed?
No. The only reason that you're getting it at all is because of your swim speed. It was a disadvantage though.
Oh no!
Do it again. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with everything working against you, it is so hard to fight down, and you're working against the actual magic that is holding you up to the surface. And so you're fighting down, and it's kind of pulling you back up. The waves are slamming into you, and you can just watch. It's hard to even see the shape of the whale. It's only through your magically enhanced vision and kind of piercing gaze that you're able to capture this shape. But you just see it kind of disappearing down into the darkness, and before you can kind of get a direct vision on it, you kind of swim back down, looking around. You don't even see which direction it's gone anymore.
Oh no.
Trying to swim under, but his feet are holding him up at the surface.
He's just kicking and they're just staying above.
And at this time, we're going to flip back over. So Roland and Clyde, you can kind of see each other just barely, just again, in these heavy waves that are crashing around as you're trying to stay on the surface. It's slamming into your mouth. Even though you can breathe, it doesn't feel good, and it burns as it goes into your lungs.
So I know how dangerous it is to have people overboard in a storm, and how quickly you can lose them. So as soon as my head breaches the top of the water, I'm pulling off the eye patch and activating dark vision and stowing the patch.
Okay.
And so I've got 1 minute of dark vision out to 30 feet, and I'm just going to look for anyone I can find in that and grab them and tie us together.
Yeah, within 30 feet, it's only about Clyde that you see, and Clyde is strapped to a broken piece of banister that he is floating along the top with.
Okay, then I'm gonna get to
Clyde's
him,
got a raft.
tie myself in as well, and look around for anyone else.
Okay.
Clyde is a raft.
Give me one more perception check.
Okay. I don't see like Thishalt or Cade or...
We'll see.
Okay. Perception. Can I give myself guidance as I look around for people?
Sure.
Okay.
You're taking a moment here to try and make sure you can find people. If you can get dark vision out, you can get guidance out.
Hey. Oh, what's it gonna be?
So looking around, it's difficult to see anyone's silhouettes, and most people are low and these waves are high, moving in and out. But as you see a crackle of lightning, you see a glint of something. It's right on the edge of your vision where you can see, or not even on your dark vision, but of your actual vision of what you can see. It's maybe 60, 70 feet away from you, but something metallic.
Okay. I'm going to grab onto the banister, kind of rotate it, look at Clyde and go, side stroke. Just have us both.
All right. Either you or Clyde. Oh, we'll say you, since you're driving this. Can give me an athletics check at advantage.
Clyde would too. All right. That's where we're going. Come on, my noble steed, onward! And you get bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Athletics check at advantage with bardic inspiration.
I have time to get another guidance out.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's going to take you a bit to get there.
Okay.
He's praying. Oh boy, he's praying.
Yep.
Praying
And
to the
then
ship
I will
leader.
also, it's a D6, right?
D8.
D8 now. Excellent.
Yes, 5th level.
Gotta love that bard scaling.
Oh.
It's a 21.
That helps immensely. Fighting against these waves is not easy, and it takes every bit of your and Clyde's strength and magic to get over to this. But with that glint of metal, you can see the metal frame around the heavy armor of the Shalt that is only held aloft by the magic of Cade.
Yep. So get to him, grab onto the back of the armor, pull him in, rope him into the...
Yeah, we're making a float of people.
Yep. We are making a float of people, and I want to make sure that he's turned up so that it's not... I mean, we all have water breathing, but still, in case I get knocked out and we're floating for 8 hours, I don't want him face down in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. No, doing what you can, you kind of lash in, and it is all of your strength spent. Your arms are tired. You kind of make sure that you all are tied in and kind of face up as much as possible, and the water still slams into you. And eventually, as the dark vision wears off, there's just this darkness around, and you kind of do your best to focus and kind of protect your mouth and new gills as you try to waver the storm. It doesn't seem deadly thanks to the magical protections, but it is unpleasant, and it is everything that you can do to focus and fight through. Meanwhile, on the other side,
also lashing in anything else that's floating to like make a bigger raft.
Yeah, doing what you can.
We're playing that video game and just grabbing shit and tying it.
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Am I conscious? Am I?
I don't remember. Did you roll? I don't think we rolled you a con save. Can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, well, yeah. Let me do that real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
never mind. You're
Bobby,
good.
You are.
But your armor is holding you down, so it's just your head above water.
Well,
Yeah, you are conscious, but it is incredibly seeing in heavy armor is already difficult, and so in this darkened area where you don't have dark vision, you're only seen by flashes of lightning, and these waves are slamming into you. It is all but unconscious for you at this point, but you can hear the voices a little bit of Clyde and Roland above the noise of the storm as you're feeling them and kind of able to interact with them somewhat.
Good.
It's like that scene from Mulan. You grab him and lift him up, and he's like, "Steam!" and you're like,
Yeah, you just lift up the metal. It's like this evil merman. Just nope.
Wrong one.
Oh, that would have been great. But yeah, as you guys are fighting against it, just surging out by the waves and the storm around, we will get back to Boko. Yeah. Did you have something else?
O'Reilly. No. I am also now, once I have folks kind of like lashed in, I'm going to grab a just like a button on someone that's facing up, and I'm going to use my magical tinkering ability from Artificer to make that tiny object shed bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. I'm putting a rescue beacon on us.
Okay. All right, good to know. Okay. With that,
oh, you know what it also makes us look like? Delicious to fish.
No. So
you can drown or you can get eaten.
Roland, it is.
I'm not gonna drown for 8 hours.
That's fair.
It is a long time in the darkness and the water with this kind of flashing light nearby as a beacon. But eventually the storm calms, the rain stops, the lightning goes away, and it is just this dim greenish haze to the clouds. You see kind of flashes of purple and green of the clouds, these kind of stormy, magical essence of them. And as you're kind of floating away, the seas get calmer and calmer and calmer. And it's probably an hour or two in this dim, darkened light before you can hear this metallic bell clanging. And you can kind of look up and you see the silhouette of a ship on the horizon.
Do we know the ship?
We'll get to that in a second. For Jasira, you had blacked out very quickly. This just intense rush of water and this force that had blasted you out you don't know what happened or what caused it. And there's just this cold, dark area around you as you feel your presence in your mind. As you stand there in the darkness, you see this fire, like a soft campfire, that is kind of shining shadows onto your form. You kind of look around and feel around, and it's this, again, cool, soft darkness. There's a chill to your body. You want to get warm, but you can't see anything around, left, right. It's all dark, except for this one single warm campfire.
I would say she would approach the fire. Maybe try to run her hands over it, see if there is heat.
You kind of step forward to it, and you find that it's not a campfire at all, but this small, floating, almost orb of fire hovering maybe a few inches above the ground. It's maybe a foot in diameter. You kind of run your hand across and feel the warmth. And as you kind of curve about halfway, the fire begins to kind of grow in this intensity and this bright white light that kind of shoots out, and you suddenly feel your eyes kind of opening up into this bright sunlit sky as you just kind of coughing out seawater around. And you immediately kind of close your eyes as you feel the burning sensation on your skin as you try to cover up your head and face. And you look over and you can see Sindri nearby, also kind of on the verge of consciousness. And as you look around, you see individuals, boots, feet, legs. You kind of look around trying to get your bearings under this harsh light. And you find that you are on the deck and kind of looking over onto the sea, you are dozens, if not hundreds of feet above the surface of the water. Looking over towards the front, you see all of these individuals are in very similar uniforms. Looking towards the front, these massive masts rise up, these large cannons out to the side that almost look to have dragons embossed on the edge of their cannons. And on the front, a massive gilded dragon stretches out the front.
We're on a sea dragon.
Boko, Clyde, and Thishalt. Coughing up water, you're climbing aboard these ladders that had been thrown down to you. As
Wait.
you...
Roland, Clyde, and Thishalt?
Yeah.
You said Boko.
Oh, sorry. Roland, Clyde, and Thishalt. Yes.
Oh, I died.
As you are focused in, climbing up this ladder, kind of coughing out, kind of adjusting, you look around at these sailors. Medium-sized ship, some basic equipment, a few masts on it of green color, and a heavy front. It seems to be reinforced with this heavy metal. Looking across, you see individuals. They're all smaller in stature. They look to be sailors of some kind. They look armed. Many of them have this kind of tannish skin. Why don't the three of you go ahead and make me a history check?
Okay, so we're not on the Sea Dragon. That's
Jasira and Sindri.
Jasira and Sindri are on the Sea Dragon.
Currently.
We're getting picked up by a
Another ship.
medium-sized ramming ship.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
It's a
gosh.
history check then?
Yeah. Jeez, guys.
I don't know if I need to after that roll. I'm just going to get embarrassed, but here goes.
All the schematics for the ship.
Yeah, all of you immediately recognize what is a fairly uncommon humanoid. These are sirens. They are leftovers who had escaped the events of the Mournland that had left a portion of the continent darkened. They're very rare to see this far out to the east, but they all have that distinguishing tannish skin. What we would relate in modern times to type of Asian or Arabic type features.
And Lucius Morningstar steps out of the cabin.
As you guys are looking around trying to get your bearings, you see a woman in kind of this scantily clad sailor outfits, long hoop earrings, just this wild mane of bright orange hair with streaks of green through it, with two of these weapons kind of trained on you. Across on the other side, there is this heavy man with these large kind of orangish mutton chops and kind of tattoos along his neck and a large pipe kind of out of his mouth, holding these this double-barreled what Roland you can identify or have heard of as a blunderbuss, but you've never seen one in person. And walking down the stairs is this red-skinned tiefling individual. As he steps forward, think very closely about what you're going to say. Who are you, and what are you doing out here?
I'm Clyde. We're trying to get the land, and then this shit storm popped up. Before you kill us, there's more of us in the sea. Like, make sure not. Like.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
If you have time, can you look and see if any of our friends are still out there?
I hate to tell you all this, but if you had any friends in that storm, they're likely long gone. The only reason we found you all is because you had
that, and he kind of points to that flashing light that Roland had strapped to the wood that you guys are all kind of still that you had left kind of on the water before climbing up.
Excellent work, Roland.
Look out for yourselves.
I'll tap it and it turns off.
Kind of looks over you, kind of scans, and actually, listen, as long as you don't mean us any harm, we don't mean any harm to you.
No harm at all. My name is Roland. I'm from Carlacton. I was sailing out here after a bit of a misadventure, and I'm trying to get home. That's all.
Well, nice to meet you, Roland. Roshandi, captain of the Siren's Call.
Who are you, Austin?
Captain, we got something overboard! There's a call from the side as everyone kind of rushes over. They're kind of heaving up with ropes, kind of pulling up the side. We hardly saw it. It blended right in with the waters. Kind of lifting up and plopping down an unconscious body of Cade. Still seeming to be alive, but not responding.
Cade. Come on.
Well, maybe there might be some more.
First.
Maybe there might be some more of your individuals out there than I thought. Feel free to take to the banister and take a look. But if you guys do any funny business, we got plenty of people who can put you down real fast. So just stay in line.
You do the looking. I'll handle Cade here.
All right. May I use the crow's nest?
I'm not sure Naya would appreciate company. Why don't you just stay on the upper decks?
Okay. I have a magnifying device on this, and he'll kind of gesture to the rifle that is strapped across his back. May I take it off? I will not point it at anyone on the ship.
He couldn't hit you if he wanted to.
Shut up.
Don't worry, Naya would take him out before he could have a chance to try.
Yeah, first of
I would love
all,
to meet this night person under less strenuous circumstances. I'll pull it off and I'll start scanning for any sign of life. After just a visual scan, I will also flip on the optic and see if I can detect any sentience.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay. Guidance is on. There we go.
Looking out across the water, you don't see any sign of individuals, of people. There's no evidence of any signs of life. Even scanning across with your enhanced optic, it's not triggering any thoughts. What you do find is bits of debris. Pieces of the banister or of the platform or of the crates of different materials that had kind of floated through. There's a handful here and there. But due to the magnification, you catch something else. You catch shine of a shimmer that is this green blue that very closely blends into the water. But you've seen this one other place before. This looks like one of the, at least a portion of a sail from the Azure Fox.
I'll look down at Cade, who's still unconscious. You would deserve to know for sure. Is there any way to get over towards there? I see there's some flotsam in the water that might help identify a ship.
No, it's not too far.
I appreciate it.
I suppose so. We'll take it as a gesture of good faith, assuming that you all keep the good behavior.
Oh, yes, I have full intention of behaving well. we would be quite foolish to take on your very capable crew.
Satoria, hard to starboard! The ship kind of lurches over.
While he does this, Clyde's going to cast Healing Word on Cade to see.
And there seems to be a bit of damage, but for the most part, she just seems exhausted, like many of you feel from just the heavy waves and swimming against them. But as you feel this warmth around, she's slowly starting to adjust. It's going to take a few minutes, but she's starting to come to.
All right. So she gets 8 HP back, which I think is what she left or lost from before.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, that would be correct.
Perfect.
And as you look out across the waters, there's still some heavy waves that are crashing and some darkened skies in the distance. But where you are, things are starting to lighten. And as the ship pulls over, they kind of reach down hooks and pull out this. It's almost like fish scale, just this shine and sheen of this turquoise, green, and blues mixed together to be this elegant, beautiful sail that is lightweight. You can see how it was so easy for this to blend into the waves and make it difficult for the ship to be seen, but it is unmistakable up close that it was the same material, at least, that made up the sails of the Azure Fox, which, at least at the time, had seemed one of a kind.
I'll pull it on board, drop it down, and take one last glance out there and scan and try to find anyone.
All right, give me one last investigation check.
Right.
You need to look for him. You need to look your very best, and Clyde will give you a bardic inspiration.
I could use a friendly word right now.
Find our friends.
Nope.
Going to 20. That's a threshold.
I rolled higher on guidance than I rolled on the check.
Oof.
But it is still 20 with the bardic inspiration.
Looking across, you see the three of you. You don't see much other debris, but it at least gives you perhaps some peace of mind. If something did happen to the Azure Fox, their crew is much larger than those in the whale. There would probably be some body. There had to be, right? Maybe it was just damage.
All right. Oh. Nothing. Captain.
Aye.
Again, thank you. Is there anything we can help with? Earn our way? Is it what is your destination?
Are you all sailors?
I am the
Not by trade, but I've been on a ship past little bit.
I am, and she is. He's learning. He's better with machinery.
Well, you might want to tell your friend next time he gets caught in a storm, it might be good to take some of the armor off. He's lucky he survived it all.
It's thanks to her.
You all, magic help, huh?
Yeah.
Well, if any storms kick up between here and Port Verge, perhaps you'll be helpful. Go ahead and
Port
do what you
Verge.
can.
Okay.
Aye. You heard of it?
We just came from around there, heading towards the continent, so I suppose we can catch another ride.
That'll be good. You familiar with the Siren's Call at all? We're on the southern side of the area, so I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of us. Pretty far north now. But apparently it's some big event. Prince Raga is bringing in all the pirate hunters around. So, just make sure you keep things above board. He gives a flash of a smile before kind of walking off and leaving you all to
Absolutely.
your duties. And very quickly, some of the siren individuals, these kind of almost all of the sailors on board this deck do seem to be of siren descent. Roshan and a few others seem to be the only excluding individuals. And as Roshan is kind of walking off, he kind of motions to the man with the big bushy mutton chops. Flint, why don't you go ahead and get them set into order? Have a DS watch over them, make sure that there's no funny business, eh? Well, wait, sir. And he kind of moves over, kind of pulls out the heavy smoking pipe and looks over you and begins to put you all to work as you're moving through, getting ready for sailing. In the meantime, Jasira, as you're kind of blinding yourself from the light, you kind of look around and are blinking, realizing where you are. You see these individuals, and one of them is kind of coming up to you, kind of holds out a towel, as well as your mask in his hand.
She will eagerly take her mask from him.
Hey. No need to be rough. It's all right. You're safe here. Are you all right?
And in Elvish, just kind of seeing how he interacts with her, she's just going to say, "I can't see without my mask."
You see, this individual appears to be humanoid, but kind of looks around quickly. Gina, come over here. We got an elf. And kind of motions, and you watch as this female individual comes over. Clearly, what looks to be a pirate-esque. She's got this leather armor, kind of a reddish cape over her shoulder, a bandana kind of tied around, long ears that give away no elven heritage, and kind of a shorter blade at her side. But what's most notable to you, Jasira, is you see streaks of gold, like cracks that line her face, almost like a porcelain doll that had cracked, but they're gold that fill in. And she kind of looks down at you. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
And she's speaking to you in Elvish.
Yeah, she'll respond and is he okay?
Your friend.
And she'll kind of point towards Sindri. Yeah.
We think so. It looks like he's about to wake up. We've been trying to get both of you to give back what the sea gave you. You two are lucky to be alive. Once you
we had friends. Where are we?
You're out in the sea. We're just to the east of Questor. We're in the Strait of Port Verge.
You hear groaning come from where Sindri's unconscious. Just,
You
subconsciously hears we're still at sea.
He hates water.
We fished you two out of the water. You all have been out for at least an hour.
Would you like any water? Anything to eat?
Basic provisions would be great. Thank you.
Of course. Here, why don't you come in under the shade? And she kind of guides you to a spot that is shaded, where the kind of deck hangs over a little bit and kind of sits you down, and kind of motions to a couple of others who begin to pull Sindri nearby as he's kind of slowly getting accommodated. Here, and she kind of hands out a bit of bread and a bit of meat with a canteen of water. Get up your strength. When you have time, we can talk about what all is going on here, but for now, just do what you can to recover. That was a nasty storm that you all got caught in.
Your generosity is appreciated.
Of course. My name's Gina if you need it. I'll be just over here. Just let us know when you're ready.
She nods.
She kind of takes a few steps back and wanders, and you can see many of the crew members kind of wandering around back and forth. And as you and Sindri are kind of left alone, and you look over, and Sindri seems to be awake, just kind of groaning that he's still at sea.
Am I conscious yet? Or?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
In common, Jasira whispers, I'm not thrilled we're here either.
Yeah. Where are we? I was still sleeping. For he's talking.
Apparently we're near Port Verge. Again.
So we're back where we were?
I think we lost ground, yeah.
And we should have dug to the Underdark. I knew it. It's never safe to take the water out.
All I know is
I learned anything.
this ship is seemingly of those dragon people. We might need to be as kind and as minimal of information as we can.
Do they have dragons?
She just kind of points to the boat.
Sandra, you see a large gilded dragon out the front of the ship. And just so that you guys can see, so you guys, as you're filled in, at least the ones who are currently conscious, you heard that you were in the Straits of Port Verge, which run between Questor and Trebaz Sonara. So you guys have made it from that kind of bay on the top of Questor all the way around, and are somewhere in between that southern bay and Port Verge itself, headed southward.
We were almost halfway there.
And now we're going back.
Yay.
And it's not necessarily back. You guys are technically still traveling in the direction that you would have traveled.
Okay.
I should probably
for
clarify.
now.
You guys are going back. I'm still dead somewhere.
Multiple ships. Oh boy.
All converging on the port.
So are we heading to port? Where are we going on the ship? Where are the people that took us out of the evil ocean going?
I didn't ask.
I see.
Want some bread?
Yes, I'll go ask.
She'll just shrug and say, fine, I'll eat the bread. I don't care.
He said yes and took the bread.
Oh, cool.
He took the bread and then left you.
And then left me. So I guess I'll eat my meat?
Cinder, you hop up and immediately kind of head over to the first person you see, which is a halfling fellow, kind of a thick beard, but closely cropped, kind of a short wavy hair, an eye patch over one eye and a rapier at his side. He kind of looks at you as you approach.
Is he taller than me?
How tall are you again?
How tall am I? I am 3'6".
Oh yeah, he's a few inches taller than you.
Sindri unhappily looks at the halfling. Where are we going?
Oh, you, sir, are on a ship. We are currently headed south.
I see. Let me rephrase my question. What's south?
Who are you?
No, wait a minute. I do know my bird directions. I
Cardinal direction. Oh my gosh.
don't know what is south from here.
Who are you exactly?
I'm Sindri. Nice to meet you. Can I put my hand out?
All right, Sindri, and he kind of cautiously reaches out to shake it. Name's Olden. Olden Brumblefoot.
Brumblefoot?
Brumblefoot. You heard of it?
Brumblefoot. No.
Oh.
Do you come from a family of like, well, I guess it wouldn't make sense to be a family of feet. Of like, shoemakers?
Where did you come from? Who were you sailing with?
Oh, I came. Shit, what is the name of my town? Did I know, that's the thing. It's like, I made up the name. I didn't write in my character sheet. It's in my bio somewhere. It's in my Word document somewhere. Damn it. I came from, and then fill in the blank of where I came from. That Sindri would, of course, know where he came from.
Which this guy does not register at all. He's just kind of looking at you still. Who are you sailing with?
Oh, Captain Cade.
Is that a pirate captain? A merchant captain?
I think she's from a family of pirates.
Right.
I'm not sure if they're actually her direct relatives or adopted parents. I don't know if she's a pirate. She's very nice. She saved me from drowning once.
Well, we saved you from drowning a second time. You gotta be careful out in these waters.
I know. People keep making me stay on the water. It's mean.
Well, don't worry. We'll be taking you to land before too long.
The mainland or a small island? Because there's a big difference. One is much better.
Depending on your luck, maybe both.
So we're going to a spot that is both surrounded by water and not surrounded by water?
Listen, why don't you just get some rest with your friend? Bide your time, we'll be there soon.
Oh, yes. Original question. Where is there?
Well, we're headed to Port Verge.
Port Verge.
Have you heard of it?
Okay. Sindri thinks. I want to say yes, but no, I haven't.
Well, don't you worry. It's a nice city. Lots of ground. Far from the water. Heck, if you even want, you can make a trip up to the mountains.
There's mountains? No wonder you're going there. This sounds like a lovely place. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome. Kind of gives you a nod as you head back over to Jasira.
Great news. We're going to mountains.
Mountains?
Mountains.
Are we going to Port Verge?
I can't. You, Colleen, your mic's not working.
I do want to point out that Sindri does know that Port Verge is not a good place to be.
That's what I was hoping.
Adam, if you're talking, I don't know if we can hear you.
Fuck. Sindri's been at Port Verge for like 8 hours, at least.
Yeah. But does he remember the name of human towns?
That is the real question.
Sindri's not stupid.
As you repeatedly remind us,
But he's not smart.
He is of average intelligence. He just gets distracted easily.
Good old ADHD giant.
I'm sorry, but when you say that, all I can think of is Cars 2, Finn McMissile, British intelligence. Well, I'm Toe Miter, average intelligence.
Yep.
Exactly.
At least we're going to land.
Yes. Ooh,
All right.
and he might be taking us to the mainland as well. And again,
Yeah.
these
I think
mountains.
Dreadhold is on the mainland.
It is.
Wait, Dreadhold is on the mainland? I thought that was a little island.
It's
Nope, it's a
Dreadhold itself is technically an island. There's
Okay,
a small
I'm
bit of
looking at-
water.
Sindri,
Okay.
you could jump the gap. Sindri, you could jump the gap.
It is a single rope bridge that is barely there.
Death
What?
sentence.
Wait, that's where we broke people out of prison, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
You said that out
I
loud.
said if we could go
To the
to
pirate.
the...
Hunter.
Not
We
allowed.
wanted to go to the mainland and people said we couldn't get a boat. I thought this was an island. Telling me we could have just walked away?
And
What the
and
fuck, man?
Sindri, technically, you guys got to the mainland before you went to Port Verge or to Dreadhold.
Well, this is news to Sindri and me. This changes everything. Rewind. We need to go back.
But yeah, as you get
Island.
Doc Brown moment. We have to go back.
We have to go back.
as
We
you
already
get
made it to the mainland.
Jasira caught up to speed, we'll flip back to our other group. So Clyde, the Schult, and Roland, as you are beginning to be put to work on the ship, and you now have what is some sort of massive construct, maybe 10 or 11 feet tall, but with no clear head, just watching over your every move. You start to see as Cade is coming to consciousness and is kind of coughing up just air, as it seems the water was absorbed, but you see Cade coming too.
all right, Cade, you back with us?
Oh, actually, shoot! I forgot
Welcome
one.
back to consciousness.
One quick moment, because we'll do this first. Yeah, go ahead. We'll capture that later.
Yeah. Cade, welcome back to consciousness. We got pulled out of the sea. You are on a ship called the Siren's Call, captained by Roshan D, who is a pirate hunter.
We're missing a couple of the group, though. Jasira, Sindri, Boko. Yeah.
There's only four of you
all
on
the
this ship.
royals. All the royals.
Do either of you speak Primordial out of curiosity? Or Druidic?
Not unless you ask politely.
Okay. You hear some weird guttural, weird nature-esque sounding words that you get the feeling are probably a string of cuss words that you don't understand.
Cursing is understood in all languages.
It switches. Like there's 4 different dialects kind of thrown in there. Of like it's just rough.
Yep. Nope. I can get along swimmingly in the Underdark, in the Feywild, in Hell. In
Even those
heaven,
curse
but
words,
not in
Roland's like,
nature.
oh.
Okay, so it's just the 4 of us? I don't...
It's just us. We're going to Port Verge.
Yep.
I'm going to wait till you're awake, but I figure at least do some sending to make sure the rest of them are alive at the least.
I don't even... You know, I've never thought that the water was cursed until I met all of you, and now it just seems to bring nothing but bad luck.
Well, to be fair, first time I stepped in the ocean was like 2 months ago. I mean, it ain't been fun. Sindri's not here, and don't tell him I said this, but he might be on to something.
Or you. Or it's just you guys. Perhaps you're just terrible luck.
Well, you were part of it. Clyde's gonna just put a hand on your shoulder.
Start sending. Let's make sure everyone's alive.
Alright, is Cade gonna do Sindri? And Clyde will do Boko, and then Jasira.
So, hang on. How many slots do y'all have?
I have 2 for sending, and Cade has 1.
Okay.
We can do this one after another to see if groups are together, but we don't know that.
That's a good point. While we're figuring out.
I wanted Cade to go first because I know she gets a free one.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Cade, is grasping around and finds the amulet she normally wears. And tries to contact Sindri. Are you alive? Where are you?
And
is anyone with you?
Where are you going?
Please be okay. Where are you going? I don't. Oh God, and it kind of just stutters because Cade just woken up from unconsciousness. And it's just like. It's just kind of a ramble of questions.
And Cade, as you kind of rooted around, you wear 2 different amulets. The one that you need for sending kind of underneath the other, and just kind of holding on to the 2 of them. You notice that the plain kind of silver amulet has what looks like a streak of rust across kind of a thin portion of it.
The one that the captain gave me?
Yep. And shortly after that, Sindri, if you would like to respond to Cade's sending.
Voices. Oh, Cade. Hey, how's it going? Yes. I am good. The elf... The Jasira with the cool face. She's here.
And that's 25.
We're.
Yep.
I was counting. I was at 21.
Sindri said.
You were not 21. Counting the us then.
I was trying to count the us. The intention was, and not my personal while I was thinking.
If you want 4 more words, I'll give them to you.
We're going to port. And then he cuts off.
You could have chosen so much better.
I feel like that tells a lot, honestly.
Yeah, no.
Which is why that was used with an ability, not with the spell slot.
Exactly.
Cade just kind of sighs and is rubbing her head. Sindri and Jasira seem to be together, but Sindri is a terrible, terrible sending partner. You get no information from him whatsoever. They just said they were heading to Port. Where the fuck are we? Do we know where we're going? Where are we?
We're going to Port Verge. We're on the Siren's song?
Siren's Call.
Siren's Call.
It's just another expletive.
Yes, it's just...
This one kind of sounds like tree bark rubbing together.
Clyde will cast Sending to Jasira. Sindri's not helpful. We're going to Port Verge. Cade, Roland, the Schalt, all okay. On Siren's Call.
That was a surprising amount of extremely useful information packed into a tiny package.
Very helpful.
Clyde has been sending sendings to Cade for like the past week, and also to random other people that he may or may not know.
Yeah.
Does Clyde just drunk dial people with sending?
Of course!
Hey, buddy.
Why else would you buy half of sending stone pairs?
Yo!
Still hasn't been used.
2 a.m. Your rock next to your desk vibrates. You up? God damn it!
Oh gosh.
Jasira will reply. We are also going to Port Verge on a dragon ship.
Oh, fuck.
They seem nice, but, you know. I'll try to control Sindri.
Clyde, as turns and looks at Cade, they're both dead. They're on a dragon ship. They're going to Port Verge, but I mean, you think Sindri be able to not say that he was on a pirate vessel?
No.
Marty said.
Literally already said it.
And we are having this conversation huddled away from anyone else's ears.
And Jasira tried to warn him, hey, let's ixnay. And
Sindri
then
walks up to the nearest sailor. The
Hi,
pirate ship I was on was way cooler than this.
Well, he can also follow up. I spent a lot of time in the holding cell.
Yes.
Those pirates stole my dish.
Those damn pirates.
We're going to get that when we get strong enough. That dish is mine.
Oh my god.
After that sending, though, Clyde will send one to Boko because he's not with them, and it will be Cade, Roland, the Shalt, I together, Jasira, Sindri separate, all go to Port Verge.
How
you
about
okay?
you?
Yeah, are you okay?
There is no
Am I
response.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, balls, I'm dead.
Yeah, Boko's dead. Or unconscious. Or maybe he's on a different plane of existence. He did do that one time. Maybe he's gonna be there a little longer.
I had voodoo noises.
Oh.
Oh, he's gonna come back as a
Doll
shark.
droops. Oh.
Alright, well there's my 2 sendings. I do like it's just someone I'm familiar with. I can just fuck with anyone I've ever met. That sounds just awful.
You've seen have you watched any of the Mighty Nine?
Yeah, where they just do that.
It's the most powerful spell in the game. It's one of the few spells that can get a DM to go, fuck you.
It's a telemarketer that can't be put on.
Yeah, you
and call.
25 words at 9 o'clock every day.
Tell me about your cards. Extended
Why the
warranty.
DM doesn't allow spell points. You only get those slots.
What you do as an evil guy, you get a bunch of people sending, and you just drive the royalties mad all day, 24/7 messages to them.
Pop-up ads in the middle of courtroom.
No, you gotta space them out randomly, so it's not just annoying, but it's more of like
No.
in
You start
fear
all
of
the-
it.
This is your conscience. Kill
Send my entire
all.
guard. Send my entire guard fortress. I want this call warranty taken up and strung up.
They all start with loud screeching. That's one
Medieval.
word.
Medieval ad block.
I feel like a yell is one word, so you get the person that has a very good
It's
like,
every
lung
breath.
capacity. Sending.
Just screaming
you just-
curse words.
What you need is to like go to the city that they're in and figure out which window is their bedroom, and as soon as you see the light go out, that's when you start.
Can you send a magic mouth?
No.
I almost took Magic Mouth. It was real close, but I was like, I don't know.
I may or may not have taken it.
I love that spell.
I have great plans for that with my bard.
But Cade will kind of check back. Any response from Boko?
No, nothing. So he's either unconscious, dead, or beyond us.
And y'all not capable of casting that again today, correct?
No, I'm going to have to at least get a good 8. And I have a feeling we're going to have to do some work before they let us just sleep.
Cade just kind of like looks just like a little like lost and kind of distraught and just kind of stands up slowly, pulls all the water out of like her clothing and belongings and everything.
Don't worry, okay, as long as Sindri avoids saying something especially dumb to the wrong person, him and Jasira will be fine.
So they're already dead.
No, they were alive not 20 seconds ago.
That would be a record.
It's a long 20 seconds.
I'm all consent for the
I
rest
think
of us.
stream has crashed, by the way.
Really? Jeez, still looks like it's up on my end.
It's
I just had a hiccup.
Okay.
I don't know. It concerns me that Boko and the rest aren't responding. I don't know. I mean, they can breathe for 24 hours, and I think I managed to get us all to the surface, considering that we're still here. So I'm assuming I was able to get all of you out.
Yeah, we were all
the shelter's alive.
Yeah, he should have sank. And thank
All
you
of
for
it.
all that. I haven't said it, but thank you. I don't know if either of us would have been able to make it up to the surface in that storm.
Yeah.
God, what the fuck was that? I mean,
That is why you don't go taking trips in a whale mouth.
it wouldn't have been very good on a ship either.
Yet we got picked up by 2 of them. Well, one of them, the other one.
Yes, and we don't particularly want to be on either.
Hey, there's something else.
What?
After we pulled you out of the water, we looked for anyone else. We didn't find anyone, so this may be a coincidence. It may just have been damage. It may have been another ship. And he'll just reach over to the side and pull out the sail.
Kate kind of like numbly grabs it.
Cade, as soon as your hands touch the surface, there is this bright white-green flash as you are suddenly rocked by visions and images. This time, slower, almost dreamlike, as you see a flash of the Azure Fox, a flash of a darkened sky, a lightning bolt of green color. The sky crackles with green magic. You see standing on the deck now, Captain Stormfae. A flash of lightning, and it's no longer the captain, it's Tiago. You can see him walking down, almost snapshots with these bursts of lightning as he steps down the deck. Spray of the sea splashing up on either side. There's something rising up out of the water. Masts, a ship. It's coming closer. But it seems to be coming from out of the water. These waves of blue and green crash over, and you see Tiago standing there on the deck, his blue hair billowing in this wind, cracks of lightning behind him. And he pulls out the thin rapier that he holds, wisps of cold coming off of it. There's a whisper of words as this ship seems to open itself up. This massive teeth and maw seem to be rushing towards the Azure Fox. And then a flash of white and green once again, and you're brought right back to where you are in front of Roland. That pain in your heart and in your head as you're looking down at this strip of sail.
Cade kind of like sucks in a breath, like. God, what the? I don't understand. I don't. Something happened in that storm. A ship came out of the water. I don't know. I saw Tiago face off against it. God, what happened last night?
I don't know, but that storm wasn't natural. Something or someone did that.
I don't know. A ship rising out of the sea? It was like a monster at the same time.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I saw it just now when I grabbed the sail. It was like I was there last night. It was just flashes, like images, like a sequence of events.
I would call that weird, but you've seen a lot weirder lately.
And in this vision, you saw a ship come out and destroy the other ship?
I don't know. It was like a ship was rising out of the water, and it had a giant maw. It cut off. I don't know what happened. I saw the captain. I saw Tiago looked like he was about to face off. It cut off.
Wow.
God, I don't. And I kind of look down at the necklace. They can't all be gone, right?
No. From little I know, they were all tough as nails fighters. I'm sure tomorrow morning we can get a message to them. We'll see what's going on.
You see, Kate just kind of it's almost a bit like she's just kind of collapsing in on herself at the moment.
Come on now, Captain Cade. We're gonna need you to hold together so we can get everyone back safe. Focus on that right now, not on what you can't control, just what you can. Gotta trust
Keep
him.
the jokes about the captain part to yourself. That could get us in a lot of trouble here.
I think at this point you have earned the title.
Doesn't matter. Keep it to yourself. And Kate kind of walks off.
At that point, the man with the bushy kind of parts of his mutton chops kind of steps up, kind of smoking that pipe again.
Well, folks, seems like we'll be at Port Verge in a couple hours. We'll be just in time for the festivities.
Festivities?
Aye. Today's Brightblade. Good celebration if you're into well, all sorts of fighting or exhibition type events.
Are we your prisoners, or are we free to go once we're on land?
They've been quite kind and helpful, and have not mentioned anything along the lines of imprisonation. We've
Nope,
just
they
been
said
helping out to earn our way.
We're polite, they'll be polite.
There's kind of a
Cade
stare.
looks back at the guy.
Yeah, there's kind of the stare between Cade and this man Flint for a moment before he puffs on his pipe again and seems to cheer up, a big smile across his face. Like a friend said, once we get there, you're off on your way.
Thank you very much again for pulling us from the sea.
If I was in the sea, I'd want somebody to pull me out too.
Wouldn't we all?
Well, hopefully I never have to return the favor.
That would be quite something if you could pull me out, little man. And this man easily stands like 6'5", 6'6". He is a hefty fellow who just dwarfs all of the smaller of stature sirens around the ship, and is in himself dwarfed by the massive construct behind him.
Cade softens a bit at kind of the banter. My apologies. The news isn't necessarily good on our friends. Thank you for pulling us from the water. It was greatly appreciated.
I understand. No problem at all. He goes and kind of continues his walk around as you guys kind of get back to helping out across the ship.
Hey, it's a shot. Can you do that? And Clyde's just going to point to this awesome-looking robot thing that is following us around.
I was actually wondering about something like that myself. I'm sure that the internals probably could be reworked a little bit.
Give me an intelligence check, the Schalt.
I was about to ask if I could do the same.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely.
Or like a history check to go off of any books that I've read of.
Sure.
Especially Siren history.
If we're going to do history, can Clyde any stories about something like this?
Sure, go for it. You can make rolls. The Schalt, immediately looking at this, you've seen constructs.
Ignore the guidance. That wouldn't be something that I'd intentionally do.
Yeah. The Schalt, you've seen constructs before. In Korth, they're rare, but across Karnath, they're fairly common. And you have never seen such an integration between machinery and magic. There's an actual space where the arms are held aloft by some sort of magic and no physical connections. There's no head to this creature, and the masterwork quality is incredible. To make something like this, it is years, if not centuries, dedicated to your craft, and you've seen nothing like this thing. Clyde, kind of thinking back to historically, Sire was known to be the center of artifice.
Has Clyde ever seen anything like this when he was there?
Remnants, maybe, but nothing like this.
Okay.
There were the Warforged themselves came from Sire, and they were a massive part of the last war,
and are still a big problem.
They are a bit, and within the Mournland are particularly more aggressive. Not necessarily aggressive, but more volatile, where you have to be much more careful of them. But as far as you know, Sire was the only area that had anything close to what you're looking at, as far as technological advancements go. This thing to look at looks like an historical archaeological marvel. You are just stunned at everything that is going on. It is blowing your mind a little bit. And Roland, you've had less direct interactions, but have read much of the same. You know about the last war that tore the countries, the nations of men apart, tearing the kingdom of Galapfar into the Five Kingdoms, and how Sire had been kind of the one that was supposed to
continue to the reign, and had been kind of from the perspective that you had read, kind of greed, or had been disagreements in the ruling structure, a lot of different reasons why these nations broke apart. But Sire had continued to kind of be the hub of all different kinds of advancements, and driving forth technology, driving forth magic. You know that they were the ones who began to build and innovate the lightning rails. They were the ones who began to start the innovation on Skycraft that Ondare actually finished. And all of these different pieces were kind of central to the nation of Sire. That being said, you don't typically, with the Warforged, which were kind of their constructs that they were known for, they were known to be all mechanical. And the fact that this has magic infused into it goes well beyond what you have ever read or can connect to.
Well, certainly a bit of a marvel of engineering, isn't it?
I ain't never seen... Well, I've seen things kind of like it, but not like this.
Same here. There's a lot more magic to this than I would have expected. But with everything that I've seen thus far, I kind of find that fascinating. Maybe I'll have to try my hand at it.
And as you all begin to continue, again, just the short journey, as you get closer and closer to Port Verge, there is a breath in as Boko, your eyes open and look at a bright, shining sun. You feel laying on your back, and you see above you the face of Arenemy, kind of a relieved look as she kind of slowly helps you up off of the ground. Oh, that's a relief. I thought I was going to have to give you a mouth-to-mouth there, and no offense, but that is not something that I'd desired. And as you look around, you can see nearby Corum kind of helping Greta out, who's still kind of spitting out water as her red hair is kind of matted to her head and softened down, all of you waterlogged. Looking up and down, you see yourself on a pretty rocky beach, looking left and right as far as the eye can see, just a stretch of water and beach, and behind you, thick wooded forests.
Boko sort of reels for a moment, trying to get his bearings, and he looks to Arenemy and he says, "Something took the whale by its hind end and dragged it beneath the water.
Hey, calm down. We'll figure it all out. Just take a moment to get some bearings. We don't have any food or water, so we're going to have to try and find something quickly."
We can fish, can we not?
We can. And Corm and I will be fine on the salt water, but you and Greta, you're going to need some fresh water, and soon. I don't know how long we were out, but by the sun, it looks to be almost midday.
And do you know where we are?
No, I don't.
Okay. I can start a fire of some kind. I can try to make it so it does not draw attention, but you will have to find us some food.
I can do that. Corm, do you have the ability to create water?
I can make a lot of water once.
Alright. Once Greta is alright and stable, try and go into the woods, find some large leaves or something that we can put water in. I'll try and find some fish.
We'll dig a hole. When I say a lot of water, I mean a lot of water, princess.
Is it fresh water?
I don't know. The wall of water.
I don't imagine it's fresh water.
Make someone
Just-
real wet.
Yeah.
real
He's like, is
fast.
everybody thirsty? Stick your head in.
Is there a duration on that, or is it just instantaneous?
It is one
I assume it's
action up to
instantaneous.
10 minutes. Up to 10 minutes.
I'll have to take a look.
Here,
But
I'll just click it. And it's because he's a Triton. So
Yeah.
I think your enemy could as well.
Oh, cool. Oh, it's a wall of water.
Yes, it is a wall.
I was thinking
when I
create
said we
one.
should all be Tritons for ship combat, I was not joking.
Gotcha.
Drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah, a little bit. All right.
And,
Well,
Should be fine on water. We just got to get food.
why don't you see if you can get us some fish or something then, and I'll try and see if there's a stream nearby.
I can do that, princess. And is this going to be a survival check?
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, great. He's not good at those.
It'll be an advantage though.
Oh, good. It's better.
This is not terribly difficult. It's more about time. And so, Corum, you kind of go out to try and get some fish. This is not your area of expertise. You're a guard for a reason. You're used to fighting creatures, not so much spearing fish.
I do have a trident, though.
Yeah, but doing the best you can. It'll take some time, and your enemy kind of heads into the water. Greta's kind of off to the side, and Boko, you're kind of left there with her.
I'll try to tend to her as much as I can. And I will begin mixing up some little doses of cure wounds if she seems to be injured.
There's a bit of injury. It's more just kind of shock. This is someone who has been relatively sheltered their entire life. And what just happened was a vast change. And she seems to be handling it well, but the water seems to be taking an effect. This is someone who is naturally fire based or bred. And so the water seems to be affecting her more than it is the rest of you.
Boko's... Does this effect in his natural experience look like it is reversible?
It doesn't seem like something that needs to be reversed more than it just needs to be kind of waited out.
Okay. Then Boko's going to try to see if he can busy her mind or her hands with something, and he's just going to say, when I asked you to join me, I did not expect any of these to happen, and so you have my apologies.
No apologies needed. I'm sure that was unexpected for all of us. I'll be all right. It's just cold, you know. It'll take me a little bit to warm up, but that was crazy. You all do things like that all the time?
More than I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
I am going to start a fire. You're welcome to come warm yourself by it if you wish.
Oh, thanks. And you can see that she's trying to keep this air of positivity, but is certainly feeling that exhaustion a bit.
Boko's just going to look at her and he's going to say, it is okay to not be okay. You nearly died.
Oh, trust me, I know when I'm not okay. It's more of a, well, my dad used to say something along the lines of, everybody has bad moments, you know? Like sometimes days just really suck. But ultimately, even if the moment's bad, it's up to you and your mental strength if the day is gonna be bad, right? So I try not to have bad days, even if I have bad moments. Try to be positive thinking and all.
Perhaps it is a good thing that you came along on this journey with me because I find it difficult to remain positive about things. Maybe you and I were meant to travel together.
Really? You have such a, flowery air about yourself. That's a joke.
Boko just stares at her.
What?
Yeah, I'll be good for you. And she kind of gives you a pat on the back and kind of warms her hands, holds them out to the flames.
Food. Do you eat fish?
Yeah? Is that uncommon? Do you eat fish?
Not until recently, no.
Oh.
Again, something that has changed with the scenery.
Yeah, we like to have meat in our diet, and there's not too many animals that come around us. The thick snows around and all. We occasionally get a goat, though.
Interesting. Do you have any idea where we currently are?
No freaking clue.
Perhaps I can build us some kind of compass or something.
What's a compass?
A tool that shows you the natural directions of the energies that flow through the earth.
What?
Yes.
That's
I
a
will show you.
thing?
Yes, look, come with me.
All right, let's do this. And yeah, she'll follow after. She's incredibly intrigued. And even that bit of warmth, you're already seeing that kind of rosiness come back to her face and her energy come back as you go to get back to things. And as the sun begins to rise and the first ship draws close to Port Verge, which is Jasira and Sindri on board the one of the sea dragons. That's where we'll go ahead and wrap up for this episode, and we'll catch up next time. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.